Syed, and I'm a partner here at Harrison Clark Rickabees, and I head up the India. I have here with me today Anupam Dighe, who is the managing partner of India Law Alliance, who are an Indian firm with whom we share a collaboration agreement. Welcome, Anupam.
Thank you, Syed. Thanks for the introduction.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Um, to kick us off, would you mind telling us a little bit about ILA, India Law Alliance?
India Law Alliance was set up in 2004 by myself and my other partner, Kamlesh. And since then, we've been growing over the period of time. Of course, it's a boutique law firm, not a very large operations, but we have operations in Mumbai and Delhi with 6 partners and supporting team to all these partners. And each partner is dealing with various kinds of areas of practice, which they try to support the clients.
So, what areas of law do ILA specialize in?
So, as I mentioned to you, ILA is a boutique law firm, and the main areas of practice for ILA is taxation. Of course, we do direct as well as indirect taxes for our clients, their litigation as well as compliances. In addition, we have an IP practice, intellectual property, and we have a specialized team dealing with the intellectual property issues. We have a real estate practice where we help clients on real estate issues. We also have a corporate, commercial, and a transaction support team who majorly looks after the transactions, corporate transactions, acquisitions, and mergers. And of course, we also have the dispute resolution practice, which is our main focus area. And when I say dispute resolution, we do disputes in respect of all these areas of practice that I mentioned to you. So we may have dispute which may be relating to an IP, or a dispute which may relate to a real estate issue, or a dispute which may even relate to a taxation issue. So that is a very strong practice for us, and we do help our clients on those aspects.
Interesting. So, how could you help clients in the UK?
So, of course, the clients who would like to come to India set up their offices in India, because India is a growing market, and the Indian government is trying to promote a lot of foreign exchange investment into India. They're trying to promote foreign companies set up their manufacturing units in India, as well as service units in India. And India typically has an advantage because India has a large English-speaking population, and they can definitely have a better communication and a better interaction with foreign companies when they come into India. So we can help the clients to set up their office in India, and our expertise on that aspect is that choosing the structure, what the client should look at when they enter India, and what kind of structure they should have for setting up. It could be a branch office, it could be a licensing office, or it could be a private limited company, or it could be a limited liability partnership. So each structure has its positives, and each structure has its limitations. So to helping the client know about what exactly that they want to achieve by their operations in India, that's where we step in, and we can handhold them right from the beginning till their setup is complete, and we do have the competence to help the client with that.
Very interesting. Um, would you be able to give me some sort of examples of any issues that clients or corporates based in the UK may have experienced when sort of investing in India, or any sort of India-related issues you've helped clients with who are based in the UK?
India is a highly regulated market, and it has we have the compliance with various regulation for any setup that happens. Not only a foreign entity, but also an Indian entity. So any setup being done in India has to comply with various aspects which the company has to comply with. And for that matter, whether it may be taxation, it could be compliance with labor laws, it could be compliance with factory-related issues, or it could be compliance with service-related issues. And this is something which is very important for companies, especially coming from a jurisdiction outside of India, because every jurisdiction, it has its peculiarity, and there is no difference in India as well. So India does have its certain peculiarities in terms of the activity, in terms of the regulations it has, and therefore it is very essential that you have an expert, typically some like a lawyer, who will help you to understand what regulations you need to follow, understand what kind of a structure you need to follow. And that is something which we've been helping our clients who are trying to set up shops in India. We have seen typically when a client sets up a office in India, initially if they do not have a right advice, they end up going to a location which is not conducive to the activity that they want to carry out. And that's where the problems start. You do not have the right kind of a labor force which is required for your activity. You do not have the right kind of incentives which are generally offered by various state governments, which could have been much beneficial and which would have helped you to make more profits on the activities which you're carrying. Similarly, you do not even have the structure at times, which is necessary to have more tax effective results. So these are the activities which we can help the client with. And we have seen a lot of clients having these problems, and it becomes a Herculean task later on to undo what has been already done. So we've seen disputes in respect of contractual relationships that have entered with. We have seen dispute with the government authorities because regulations are not followed. We've seen dispute with tax authorities because proper compliances are not done. And these are typical pitfalls for any foreign entity which is entering the Indian market. And as I told you at the beginning, it is uh, as like any other jurisdiction. When you're entering a jurisdiction which is not your home jurisdiction, you need to know the nuances. You need to know what are the fine aspects of that jurisdiction, and that's where we come in. And that's where we help our client to understand and what to expect and how to deal with those issues as and when they arise.
Thank you, Anupam. So would you have any top tips for sort of our clients who are looking to invest in India?
India today is trying to promote a lot of foreign investment in the country. Uh, India has a large population, and that's one of the plus points for India. There's a large labor force, whether you talk of a blue collared labor force or a professional kind of a labor force or a white collared labor force to do service related activities. And that is what the government is trying to capitalize on. So the government is providing incentives, and India is a federal structure. And because of that, in addition to the center government, the various state governments also offer incentives for the businesses to set up shop in various locations in those respective states. So we would definitely advise the clients to first try and ascertain what kind of advantages or incentives are available, and then choose which location they need to go. We as a firm always believe that when we are advising the client, we look their commercial goal. When they're setting up an office, what kind of a commercial goal that they are looking at. And we can advise them accordingly what would be a perfect fit for them, or which location will be a perfect fit for them, or what kind of an incentive will be a perfect fit for them. Apart from this, there is also a proposal by the government where they're trying to set up a gift city. They call it a gift city, but it is something which is similar to a Singapore, which is like a port city, or a Hong Kong or a Dubai, where they want to have the trading as well as financial hub for international transactions. So let's say a financial institution or a trading company can set up their office in that particular city, which is considered to be a city outside of India. So the strict regulations and compliances do not apply for that particular area. And there are, of course, regulations and benefits out of that, which of course will over a period of time will develop, and we'll be able to help the clients with that as well. So these are certain things which the client should consider before setting up, and there is a lot of work that goes on before you physically come into a particular location, start your business. And our endeavor always is to identify what is the commercial goal of the client, and based on the commercial goal of the client is what we can advise what will be a perfect fit for them.
Well, thanks, Anupam. So why would our clients benefit from using India Law Alliance?
So at India Law Alliance, what we try to achieve is that identify the commercial requirement of a client. And based on that commercial requirement, we try to give them the domain expertise which our team has. As I mentioned to you, that ours is a boutique law firm, and we try to give the maximum time at the senior level to the clients so that they get the kind of service that they expect on certain aspects. Each partner has their own expertise on various areas of practice, which I earlier mentioned, and they have the required domain expertise on those, and they have the experience of dealing with those kinds of matters as well as with clients. And that's where we feel that at India Law Alliance we'll be able to add value to the requirement and the advice that the client is looking at.
Thank you, Anupam. It's very interesting. And thank you for your ongoing support. Our clients really appreciate sort of your guidance and your expertise on all of their India related matters. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you very much, sir.
If anybody has any sort of queries relating to the UK India corridor, feel free to contact me anytime.